Thank you so much for stopping to watch Mama Junior. It's been a little while since I came to you, and I wanted to give you a just brief video today um, and talk about you and what's wrong with you. I want to know what is your malfunction, as we used to say. So I ask that question because so many people have things that they are quick to say they don't like about themselves, and so quick to say they want to change. If they could, they would get rid of this or they would change that, whether it be internally or externally. And most times that list is compiled of external things. They don't like their nose, their body type, their hair, something to that degree they don't like and they want to change. And a friend of mine was showing me last night this picture, I guess, of one of the Kardashians who got a lot of surgery done recently and totally looks like a new person. Like, no resemblance of their old self. And I just keep scratching my head. I'm like, are you sure that wasn't like some kind of filter, that they do to kind of like, and she's like, no, this is her new self. And so it just made me think about it, like, what was so bad about her before? I didn't think there was anything bad about her before. And I know that wasn't the first time she had anything done, but I guess I don't get it. I totally understand when you have some flaw about yourself that you really want to correct. I get that, but to want to look like a totally different individual, like you don't belong in this family no more, like you look like someone from a different family, like I don't get that. So I pose the question: what is wrong with you? Tell Say out loud. Of course, you don't have to tell me, but I want you to think of three things that you don't like about yourself. Three things that you would change today if it were not for money or pain or too much controversy over it. What would you change? Three things you would change about you right now today. And then I want you to think about three things that you love about yourself. Three things that you are so glad you were blessed with, so glad that these characteristics or features make up who you are. One thing I want you to recognize is how much harder it was for you to come up with that second list than it was the first. I think we need to do better at loving ourselves and finding out how to do that. We have people since childhood who criticize and critique us so much that we take the reins and start doing it ourselves. Like, okay, I know that I'm this and I'm that. You don't have to tell me no more. I got it. I'll keep reminding myself that I'm ugly, that I'm incompetent, that I'm not worthy. Like I'll tell myself that from now on. You don't have to tell me anymore. I've got this. And we put that in our heads so much that when we do get a chance, we're correcting so many things about ourselves. And just like that chick, at some point, you're not going to recognize yourself. You're not going to recognize who you are. And I think that's kind of scary that you can do so much at correction to yourself that you can change who you are to where you're unrecognizable. I mean, unless you're in the witness protection program, your life is on the line. And that's a dramatic example. But why go through all of that? I mean, there's a lot of us who don't like our noses. I've definitely said many times that I got a big old nose. And I do. But guess what? That's my daddy nose. Ain't going nowhere. I don't like pain, so I surely ain't gonna have nobody cut up on it. But my glasses hold up well. I can smell if a fire break out outside and I got time to clear the house. So I'm cool with this nose. It's gonna work out. It don't block my eyes, where I can't see nothing that ain't done got too big, grown out of control, where it's hanging over my mouth. I gotta lift it up to eat. So I'm gonna keep this nose. And I want you to figure out what it is you've been beating yourself up about, and let it go. A lot of this stuff that we need to change is on the inside. You need to change what's on the inside. If every day you are beating yourself up about what you look like, what you do, how you interact, what you feel and think, if you don't like that, you can change those things with counseling, with therapy, with self help books, with positive music, reading scripture, talking to someone that you love and trust who has your best interest at heart, that can kind of help guide and direct you mentally to a better place here. And I think that if you are in a better place here, some of these other things won't seem so ugly to you, seem so unbearably um, bothersome where you got to get rid of it. You got to change it. Um, I don't see those the same way as enhancements. Um, I think enhancements are fine, when you want to improve yourself, kind of polish up, so to speak, what you got going on. But if you are in the market for a complete overhaul because you hate you, that's something going on mentally or emotionally in your heart that you really need to invest that time and money into some type of therapy or counseling to correct what you don't like about you in here. Because no matter what you do, if you don't correct those things, there'll never be a place of satisfaction and completion that allows you to feel like you're done, to feel like, yep, I've gotten there, I've arrived. You're never going to feel like it's good enough. And if you do feel like you're someone who needs to constantly correct and change all these physical characteristics because they're just not right, what do you tell your child that looks just like you? Are you going to be the parent that tells your child that they're ugly, that they're not good enough, that they're inadequate, that they need to, when they're 18, correct this, fix that? I don't know many parents that do not feel like their child is the best thing since sliced bread. So how do you look at your child who looks like you and tell your child, I hate your nose. I hated it when I had it. When you get 18, we're going to get your nose corrected. I hate your nose. Who does that? So just think about when you're going through all these procedures to correct and fix and enhance, I guess. What do you tell your child that looks just like you? Or even if they don't, what do you tell your child that starts to have those hangups about themselves? You see them as just sunshine, just couldn't get any better if you sculpted it yourself. What do you tell that child that hates themselves because this isn't the way their neighbors is, or that isn't the way the lady on TV is? Like, think about what you tell yourself. Think about fixing things on the inside for you so you can tell your niece, nephew, child, sister, brother, cousin, neighbor how to have self-love for themselves and how to correct some of those things, some of those misconceptions that they've decided to hold on to for whatever reason. That's just not true. We shouldn't all look alike. We shouldn't be paper dolls of one another. It's awesome to have differences in individuality. So I pose that question to you: what is wrong with you? Because I don't think you need higher cheekbones. I think you need higher self-esteem sometimes. So let's love on one another and love on yourselves so that you can love on each other and figure out what's wrong with you. Why can't you just appreciate that awesome thing that you see in the mirror every day? That's all I have for you. Thank you so much for watching. Talk to you later.